Champions are not born. They're forged. This is about turning the ordinary into undisputed. Available now. Ade Oladipo, brought to you by Undisputed.
What's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of Ade Gman. This is very much a special episode. And yes, Terence Crawford beat up his man, Canelo Alvarez. What was it, like 9 days ago, was it?
9 days ago.
9 days ago, but there's still so much to speak about. So we're going to do that right now. Remember, this show is brought to you by Undisputed. The Takeover Pack is available to download right now. Just go to playundisputed.com. On that, very quickly, Yanibbeck, Canelo, who's now obviously in the game, he posted something on Twitter the other day, like, okay, finally, the fight you guys want is going to be announced soon. And I'm like, it has to be Carlos Adames. Like,
Oh, God, yeah.
Can't think of anyone else it could be.
At middleweight, no.
That's it.
Carlos Adames.
It's not going to be Urslandi Lara.
Oh,
we
we all
don't.
want to see
we
that.
really wanted that.
Oh, yeah, just take my money. Take my money, please, for that one. No, it has to be Adames. It has to be. Unification. I love the way like you bring that up at the start instead of saying, I told you so.
No. See the told you so thing. I think it could have gone both ways. Do you know what I mean? This isn't like it was such a hard pick. That was a genuine 50-50 fight. Although
Yes.
I think, when you say that, yes, even though you were making it sound like Canelo's easily going to win. So I thought it was a genuine 50-50 fight. Very quickly, on Yanibbeck, I don't know why I'm going back to Yanibbeck here, but how comes... Because I'm trying to think, like when Golovkin was coming through.
Yes.
Although English wasn't his first thing, Americans weren't really gravitating towards him. Like, he seemed to be able to get a following. Like, I want Yanibbeck. And maybe I'm saying this because they're from the same country, which is very silly of me. It's not that simple. But he can't seem to get any push at all, Yanibbeck.
No, you're very right on that. So I think there's a couple of factors, right? One, Triple G had the benefit of HBO. They were amazing. Like, HBO were amazing.
Good shout.
He was also a lot more active. Remember Triple G pre-Kell Brook? He would fight maybe 3 times a year. So
And he
see
was
him
fighting,
regularly.
although he was destroying people and people were saying they were B-level people, there were people you knew.
He was still destroying them.
Yeah, and we knew them.
Yeah, we
knew
Darren
Martin Murray. We knew Matthew Macklin.
Matthew Macklin, that's who I was
We
thinking
knew
of.
these
Sorry,
people.
Yeah, no, we knew Matthew Macklin. We knew Martin Murray. We knew Daniel Giel. People like that.
Yeah.
And obviously the problem was all the while he was mentioning Canelo and Cotto, and those two were not mentioning him. So people were like, well, hang on a minute. If this guy's, what's going on here? Yeah. So there was always that, and there was always people in that division that you knew, all right, please fight Triple G, or you heard, all right, he's maybe
There aren't
fighting
even that
B-level.
many good B-level
not
middleweights
even.
anymore, is there?
You're looking at the division, no disrespect, but you're like, Denzel Bentley is one of the bigger names in it. Yeah. And no disrespect, Denzel Bentley's a great fighter. But,
Yanibbeck's already fought him.
he's already fought him. There's no marquee name in middleweight. And that's the problem. You've no marquee names. And, Carlos Adames, that's the only marquee
That's
name
it.
you can think
That's
of.
it. Yeah. And the thing is, it's funny because Yanibbeck's like, I'm going to give you the fight you all want. No one's even screaming for that.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's not like, we're going to see Adames versus Yanibbeck. Don't get me wrong.
It's a
We're
good
going to
fight.
tune in. It's a good fight. But whoever's putting the money up for that fight, I'm sorry to say you might make a loss because it's not going to be a pay-per-view. I don't think it will sell out because I don't know where it could be. I mean, neither of them have got a big following in America. So good luck to whoever does that. I mean, I don't even think Turkey is interested in that fight.
No, I think you think he would be, though, considering how good Adames was when he fought on a Saudi card.
And it will be, I'm telling you now, that would be a fucking war, pardon my French.
It would be.
Like, it'd be one of those fights where someone needs to get into the ear of Turkey and say, I'm telling you, just put it on. Like, forget it, just put it on because you will not be disappointed. But look, we'll see what happens with that. All right, I told you so.
There it is.
I told you so. I told everyone. I told all of you, but none of you would listen to me. Oh, Canelo's too strong. Crawford's not big enough. Crawford doesn't have the power. Crawford's legs are going to go. I told you all. What did I tell you, eh? What did I tell you? How surprised were you with Crawford's performance?
I know he's a tremendous fighter. I know he has tremendous ability. I truthfully didn't think he could just do that to Canelo. Because you got to bear in mind, this was a better Canelo than we've seen in a long time. Much better Canelo. Crawford was just different levels. And to do all this, right, want no benefits. I don't want a catch weight. I don't want a rehydration clause. I want to go up 2 weight divisions. I started at lightweight, 135 pounds. You're talking over 2 stone the difference from when I started to where I am now. And I'm just so confident I'm going to outbox shit. That's it. And he did. I seen something before we started, right? in Crawford's whole career, it's 42, 43 fights, right?
Yeah.
He's never had anyone even score one of his fights a draw. Even in the fights, he's either knocked you out or he's won by decision unanimously. That's how dominant he's been.
Yeah.
There's not even any doubt who's winning these fights. And I just thought he was magnificent.
Yeah.
It was just
When I saw him on the scales, so the official weigh-in, so not the ceremonial weigh-ins, the official, he looked, I was like, my God, ripped to the bone. You know, when someone jumps up a couple of weight classes, you do start to look a bit fleshy.
Exactly, yeah.
There was no flesh about him. It's almost like they'd only just put on pure muscle,
Yes.
slabs of muscle. And although some people are like, yeah, but how? And I'm like, people don't realize what these guys walk around at. I'm convinced people at home are not understanding that these guys walk around so far over their weight class that they nearly kill themselves. Like Crawford was killing himself to make 147. Crawford's a guy that walks around about 170, 180. Obviously, he put a bit more on to then trim down to 168. But people shouldn't be so surprised that he was quite strong in there because these guys literally burn so much to get down to a weight class. And 168 clearly isn't his weight class. But what I'm trying to say is 147 wasn't either.
Oh, God, no.
Do you know what I mean? He probably
God, no.
really is a 154 fighter.
154, 160. I thought he looked phenomenal. I thought that the strength he showed. There was a right-hand Canelo landed right on the forehead of Terence Crawford, round 11, and he just didn't even blink. It's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Canelo Alvarez catching you with a good right hand, or a good one, and it's like, it's not even, it's just, okay. It's like that moment when Triple G got hit with the right hand by Canelo, and he just was like, nah, it's all right.
Yeah, this ain't
It was like that again.
Yeah,
It was
this
like
ain't
that
it.
again.
And what I like, though, we showed respect to Canelo because what Crawford sometimes does do in fights, because he's clearly so good, is switch hit. This time it was like, no, we're just doing southpaw.
Yeah, that's
because I
exactly.
see you kind of, like there was a few times where Canelo was stumbling over his legs and he was swinging and missing. And Crawford's like, okay, we can just keep with this then.
Yeah.
Because you clearly don't like to fight southpaw, so I'm just going to stay southpaw. If I switch to orthodox, that's kind of benefiting you. So we're going to switch to it. I thought he was just supreme. I thought the first round could have been Canelo or whoever.
Yeah.
After that, it was almost like he quickly just worked out, okay, cool. And they even got in a tangle a few times. And I thought, okay, this is where Canelo's going to be too strong.
Exactly.
And Crawford just threw him off.
Yeah, threw him off.
And I was like,
or
oh my
just
God.
Caught Canelo, you know, coming in upright, and then boom, boom, boom. Those little peppering shots, and you see like the head snap back, and you're like, damn.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that level of sharpness against someone like Canelo, and for Crawford to be that confident.
Dude.
Again, I really did think early on, even if Crawford's blocking the shots, he'll feel them and think,
Yeah.
gotta be careful here. Nope, none of that.
Yeah, I said that Crawford would, and by the way, look, I'm being cocky that I got the pick, but I said Crawford would
we can
win.
tell.
Yeah, you can't blame me. I said Crawford would win the early rounds, and then Canelo would creep back in, and then I said maybe Crawford would win a championship round and win it on a split or 7-5. Crawford won so many of the early, he banked so many,
Yep.
and then he decided to stay in the pocket with Canelo when you don't need to. Like he was winning that fight, but it's like, okay, this is Vegas, this is Canelo, we know what the judge is like, I'm gonna have to stand there and bang a bit. And he stood there and he started landing heavy shots.
Well, in fairness, he was right to do that.
Yeah,
because
look at the
two of the
scorecards.
scorecards, I mean, one round, it's a draw. 1 round on 2 scorecards goes to Canelo, we got a draw.
Yeah.
We would have been talking about something completely different then if that was the case.
Yeah. You know, you've always said, and I will give you some credit here, you've always said that Canelo's almost taken it easy with the fights he's had.
Yes.
And I'm like, why would he do that? That Canelo that I saw, 7, 8, 9 days ago, was better than the Canelo I've seen in his last 5 fights.
Exactly
Which
that.
tells me Canelo did take it easy with John Ryder, Munguia, Berlanga, William Skull, 100%. Because the Canelo of Crawford would have wiped the floor with those guys, like knocked them all out easy.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
we've seen Canelo go the distance in all them fights. That version of Canelo would not be going the distance. He would be knocking these guys out, stopping them. That's how on it he was. It's the best I've seen Canelo look, probably since the Bivol fight. But again, like the Bivol fight, he just wasn't good enough. He was in there with special talent.
Yeah. I don't know what this result actually means for the history of boxing. You know, like everyone, like even I did my Mount Rushmore video today. Yeah. I don't know what it means though. I don't, like, obviously all-time great.
Oh, yeah.
He's an all-time great. 42-0, 43-0. What is it? Freeweight, undisputed. You're an all-time great.
5-weight undisputed. Or no,
No,
undisputed.
freeweight,
5 weights.
5 weights, freeweight, undisputed, yeah. Like, how good is he? Like, what are we talking? Like, I haven't watched your video, but I've seen the title. I think that you think he's better than Mayweather.
At 147, yeah.
Okay, at 147. So you're not talking overall.
Right. If we're talking maybe lightweight Mayweather.
No, just overall, like careers overall.
career
I
overall.
know Crawford isn't finished yet because I still think that Crawford could have a couple more.
I think he is better than Mayweather overall.
Ooh.
Well, I'll tell you why, right? Mayweather may have the better
controversial.
Mayweather may have the better resume on paper, right? But Terence Crawford's willing to do things that Floyd just wasn't.
Wasn't or didn't need to.
No, he wants to say I'm the best ever. Okay. Well, people like Ray Leonard have gone up against much bigger guys. They haven't looked for, you know, any like little rehydrations or catch weights in there. They've looked to just say, right, you're the best, I'm having you. Simple as I'm having you. That's what Crawford's done. Again, if that was Floyd Mayweather when he fucking was at a catch weight.
Why do people? But why is that a thing? Like, why do you like Marvin Hagler's considered it? Marvin Hagler was never said, okay, let's go up to light heavyweight. Why do you have to go up in weight classes to prove you're great? Why is that a thing? Why is that a thing of judgment to go up weight classes?
Okay. Well, I think with Floyd going around saying I'm TBE,
Yeah,
I'm the best ever, I'm this, that.
It's a 5-weight world champion.
So is Terence Crawford.
Yeah, 5 weights. So isn't that good enough to be 5? Do you have to go to 6 and 7s? Like, he's a small guy. Like, when you see Crawford, it's funny actually, because considering when you actually see the photos of, I think there was a photo of Shakur, Andre Ward, Crawford, Mayweather. You see how actually small Mayweather is. He's actually tiny.
Okay. No. I'm gonna challenge you on this one, right? So when Terence Crawford, right, moved up to 140 pounds, right? Bear in mind, weak division. He did what he needed to do. He cleaned it out and then moved up to 147, got his belt and was immediately trying to get the Spences of the world, the Kell Brooks, right? When Floyd Mayweather went to 140 pounds, right, you had a guy called Costa Zoo who was the top dog. Did Floyd Mayweather go for him? Nope, he went for Arturo Gatti. One of the, if not the weakest champion.
Why do you think he went for Gatti?
Bigger name.
Bigger name.
Bigger name.
Bigger name.
But
And what was Floyd's nickname at the time? Money Mayweather. It was Money.
Was it not Pretty Boy?
No, it wasn't Pretty Boy. I think that's when he switched over to Money, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
But still, what Crawford did, right, goes fight Israel Madrimov, first fight at 154, right? No catch weights. Didn't Floyd fight at 154 with catch weight every time?
Yeah, Oscar De La Hoya and Canelo.
Except Conor McGregor. That's the one fight against an MMA guy. He fought at a legit 154. That's the only time. What did Terence Crawford do, right? Ismail Madrimov, undefeated, right? People, and even we know how good Madrimov is because he's a very good fighter. All right, I'll have you 154. No rehydrations, no catch weights, no anything. Yeah, moving up. There we go. I'll fight Canelo 2 weight divisions. I mean, Floyd Mayweather, has he ever jumped 2 weight divisions? No, he hasn't.
No.
And that's why I think that Terence Crawford is it. He has it. He is that. And yeah, you can say, right, look, it's not Terence Crawford's fault that he didn't fight a prime Errol Spence or Sean Porter. In 2019, PBC actually came out and said, we do not recognise the WBO title. They did it for all of a year as legit. Why was that? Because Terence Crawford had one of them. Man, Andy Ruiz had the WBO title and they were like, oh, he's world champion. It's like, well, get rid of the belt then. You had fighters fighting for it, but now you don't recognise it. That's not Crawford's fault. It's not his fault he couldn't fight Spence in his prime. I think he would have beaten Spence either way. But Floyd, all right, again, 147. Okay, there's a guy called Paul Williams there. You're going to fight him. I'm going to fight Carlos Baldomir.
Yeah. It's not a great choice.
You could say Arturo Gatti was a bigger name, but Carlos Baldomir certainly wasn't.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. You're right. And I think Carlos Baldomir had...
got knocked out by a 20-year-old Canelo.
Yeah. Well, it was weak choices. By the way, I'm not even defending it. Weak choices from Floyd. Like, Floyd could have fought Antonio Margarito, didn't want any part of it after he beat Cotto. Like, nope, we ain't going to do that. So you're right, there are some suspect choices there. But Floyd, honestly, like, I still feel like when I was watching him, I felt like I was watching a genius. I felt like I was watching someone that just is Messi of boxing. I was like, my God, this
Floyd
is incredible.
Is a genius, and he was a phenomenal fighter. But I see the same thing when I see Crawford.
Yeah,
I see a guy who I can't emphasize enough what he's doing in there is difficult, and yet he makes it look like he makes it look like I could just put a pair of gloves on and do what he did. I can't do that. He just makes it look seamless.
Does it knock his resume that he's only done this once a year for the last 6 years? Whereas Floyd, no matter what you dig at Floyd, it was twice a year. It was that September, May, pretty much like Canelo as well, where I don't know if this hinders him because again, 42 fights is still a lot, but he's a part-time boxer for the last 6 years.
Actually, it's only when I think about it there, actually. Well, hang on a minute, right? So, yeah, Floyd during that time was doing his 2 fights a year, 2 big fights. But, like, how many of those fights were really competitive fights on paper, you know?
Is that his fault or is that their fault?
No, I think Floyd picked his battles very, very carefully. You know, I fight Manny Pacquiao, okay. You know, there's Amir Khan, there's there. No.
Oh, one second. Manny Pacquiao. You know, it's funny, the Manny Pacquiao one, because, yes, it came too late. 100%, it came too late. It should have been 3-4 years earlier when Manny Pacquiao flatlined Cotto and Hatton, whatever he did. You know, Manny Pacquiao after that, I always go back to this. Manny Pacquiao after that fought Timothy Bradley.
He did, but I wasn't going to use him as the example. I was gonna
And
say
he
after
destroyed
that.
Bradley.
He did destroy
And I
Bradley.
remember thinking, was Floyd that good then? Because Floyd made Pacquiao look easy. And then Pacquiao then fights a fellow elite welterweight and beats him.
Who retired straight after. Who did retire straight after, has to be said. So maybe he knew there was not much left to think. But he fights Andre Berto after. There's better opponents there. Didn't he do a poll before he fought Maidana?
Maidana or Khan. And Khan won, and he still chose Maidana.
And he still chose Maidana.
Yeah.
You know, so there's none of that with Terence Crawford. Again, and yes, the once a year you could say maybe, but he's not diluting his resume with that. I mean, in that once a year, he's fought the likes of, well, in 2019 he fought twice, Can and Mean Machine. Then he fought Kell Brook.
Yeah. Then
he fought Sean Porter. Right, we'll ignore the Avanesian fight. Then he fought, Avanesian's useful to be fair, but he's not that level. Then he fights Errol Spence. Then he fights, what's his name? Madrimov. And Canelo. I mean, like, you could argue it's not twice a year, but goddamn, that's a pretty impressive run.
That's an impressive run. Impressive run. Amir Khan at the time is impressive. Kell Brook, who literally barely walking dead at 147 is impressive. Avanesia, these
I never
are
said
impressive.
Avanesia was impressive.
These are impressive. Mean Machine, who actually put him down.
Who did put him down?
Put him down. Let's not forget that. Legit knockdown.
Legit
But I don't want to
knockdown.
knock both guys. I think they're both incredible. I just love the debate between both because we haven't had a debate is anyone better than Mayweather since Mayweather, basically.
Yeah, no,
it's almost like, Mayweather's the best.
At
right?
that same weight.
Yes.
At that same weight, crucially, you could say maybe, well, I think Usyk or so. No, but
At that
weight.
same weight, I would favour Crawford.
So would I.
At 135, I'm taking Pretty Boy. At 140 is the judgment. At 135, I'm sorry, Pretty Boy Mayweather was just, because he actually was aggressive. I think of the Diego Corrales victory. He was very aggressive in that fight.
He was very aggressive, but
Corrales was unbeaten at the time as well, I think.
Corrales had
31-0.
T-Rex arms, though. Crawford doesn't. He'll always have the reach on him, even at 135.
Floyd had to speed on him.
Maybe.
Maybe 100%. 100% has the speed on him.
Okay, well, Shane Mosley had to speed on Vernon Forrest. Vernon Forrest said, here's a jab.
Yeah, but Vernon Forrest isn't a better boxer than Floyd. I love what we're doing here.
Right, yeah.
This is gonna. I love this. Either way, I guess what we're getting at is that Terence Crawford has impressed everyone so much that this is now a legit conversation.
Oh yeah,
it's gone beyond a legit conversation. It's got to a point where you could be right. I'm just playing devil's advocate and trying to make an argument for Floyd. What you're saying is correct, especially the double jump to basically a triple jump.
Basically
a triple jump. One fight against Madrimov at 154 doesn't count you as a 154 fighter.
Yeah, you're not
as far as
fully
I'm
fledged.
No, you're not at all. He's triple jumped to the guy that was undisputed in the weight class. Without doubt, because Benavidez went the best at 168.
Without question. The best at 168. And that's the thing again. I say you go for the best. You're going for the best immediately in that division. You got to take your hat off to that.
Yeah, you've got to. What does this mean for Canelo? You lost to Floyd.
You did.
You lost to Bivol. I don't care anyone says you lost to Golovkin. You lost to Terence Crawford. So you've lost to
the elite.
The elite.
I think it shows that Canelo is the elite.
Yeah.
But he's not the special elite.
Okay.
I think we can use that word because there's elite. Because Canelo Alvarez is elite. You can be world level, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're fighting Canelo with different.
Yeah.
But then there's the special elite.
Yeah.
There's the very, where you look at them and you think, I'm watching something special in Canelo, but I'm watching something very special in Floyd, Golovkin, Terence Crawford, and Bivol, our guy.
Yeah.
That just shows how good Beterbiev is as well. We got two special fighters at 175.
No, for real. I don't think it hinders Canelo
it doesn't.
as much.
I don't think it does.
But in terms of, I guess there was a conversation about is he the greatest Mexican? I think that's Chavez now.
Yes.
I think that's kind of done.
He's up there.
He's up there, and you have to be up there. And I don't want to be that guy that just shits on him after a loss.
Of course.
Because ultimately he lost to, when it's all said and done, one of the very, very best ever in Crawford. But the fact is he did lose to a guy that, as we just said, has triple jumped the division. That's not a good look, dude.
That's the bit that's going to hurt.
That's not a good look.
No, that is the bit that's going to hurt. It would be different if he was, if he moved up before and had a couple of fights there, you'd say, yeah, he fought Crawford, who's now, but you're really looking at a big welterweight.
Yeah.
That is,
like for example,
okay,
this is a great example. Let's make it easy for you. Let's just go back a few months ago. Boots Ennis, the best at 147. Not undisputed, but the best at 147. Dude, there's no one jumping up from 130 beating Boots Ennis.
Absolutely no.
It's just not happening.
No.
Do you see what I mean?
Imagine Sugar Nunes not going to
No,
happen.
exactly. It's just not happening. It's legit no way. Don't get me wrong. And don't get me wrong, Crawford's obviously very special, so maybe it's a silly argument. But jumping up, we saw what Jermell Charlo did it. Jermell Charlo was undisputed when he jumped
fully
up.
Fledged,
Fully fledged, undisputed.
Big.
Jumped up, big guy. You saw what Canelo did to him.
Petrified.
Yeah.
Petrified him.
And that's what you're supposed to do to someone that's jumping up in weight classes. So that's why I say, does it really hurt Canelo that much? And I think it does hurt him a little bit that he didn't bully or somehow just get to grips with Crawford.
Yeah, that's a good point. He never imposed. He
never
imposed.
imposed.
He never really grabbed the bull by the horn and imposed himself.
Never.
Not once.
There was not once where Crawford was like, oh shit, Crawford's in trouble here. Like Crawford needs to get out of the corner here. Not once. Not one of those moments.
That's a very good point. And that will hurt him. And I think, look, again, we talked about him being the greatest Mexican of all time. No. Chavez is, that's his title. And it's going to take some serious shifting. If, as I said, if Crawford had maybe one fight there before, maybe if he fought a contender, fought William Skull and did that, then we'd be saying, no, he belongs there. It does look bad.
Yeah,
it does. It does. It genuinely does.
Yeah, it does look bad. Do you want to see a rematch?
No. He's not beaten Crawford, Canelo.
Okay.
I think he can he improve? Maybe. But
Okay, so wait. If he's not beating Crawford, which is fair, right? I agree. Based on what we saw, I do think he can make improvements, but who knows? Is there someone else better out there than that you'd rather see Crawford fight than Canelo?
Well, Turkey did ask, could Bivol get down to 168?
I asked. Turkey said, can Benavidez?
I thought he said Bivol.
No,
as well.
I said Bivol.
Oh.
Turkey said Benavidez.
Well, certainly not. Certainly not Benavidez. I don't think he's beaten Benavidez. I think that's a bridge way too far. I think a lot of things too far. But could you just imagine if Bivol could, the skill we'd see in that fight?
Yeah.
The rounds between Canelo and Crawford went by like that. They'd be the same against those two. That'd be epic.
Yeah. I just... when I thought of Bivol, when I said, can Bivol make 168? I just... yeah, which is ridiculous, by the way. Yeah, big if. Although he's not a big 175. I will say that. He's not a big... And when I see Bivol... Maybe because of his body type, but he's never like abs. He's never ripped at 175,
no, he's not.
Which makes me feel like there is a bit that could be lost if he tried. And he's already spoken about going to 168 to fight Canelo for undisputed. He's spoken to me about this. So he's obviously had it in his mind. But he ain't done like Canelo.
No, he's
like,
not.
I thought Canelo's legs were done. Bivol was just beating Beterbiev.
He even kind of admitted it in the post. He's like, I knew what I wanted to do. My body just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
When you're saying that, you know it. You're like, okay, fair enough. Bivol, man.
It's not good. This is the issue for Crawford. Like I was speaking to someone, and I said, well, Crawford really should just say, oh, fuck it. Enough's enough. I've made more money than I could.
Yes.
I'm 38. I'm healthy. I haven't taken much damage in my career. Barely taken any, if I'm honest with you.
Literally not.
Maybe this is the time to walk. But then when you put on that kind of performance, very rarely do fighters say, we're done.
That's the problem. But the way he collapsed to his knees in the ring in tears, that to me was that to me was a great way to go out. Going out like that. But then, as you said, there's the catch-22. Now you've done this. Now you are the man. You are the name. So your next fight, if you thought this was a nice payday, just you wait, sunshine.
This is the problem.
And that's the problem.
That's the problem.
They know
that's the problem, especially considering he isn't Canelo. He hasn't made that money for the last 10 years. He isn't AJ. He isn't Fury. He's only made that money really in the last 2 years. Yeah. I don't know what he got for Errol Spence, but it would have been
paid. But
well paid. Majimov would have been a bit less because it was and then this would have been high. So he's really had the last. Obviously, look, he's been making $1 million plus in a few of his fights, but nothing like this life-changing money. Whereas now, you'd almost be his manager and his people around him say, dude, you'll be silly to call it quits. Now Turkey's around with you and you're the man. Yeah. Yeah. You'd be silly.
That's exactly it. Like, so they're going to be turning around and they'll be saying, right, now we are going to make some money.
But who then? Who?
That's the question. At 168, I did kind of wonder, could you bring maybe Aleem Kanuli up the fight crop? But then that's not a big fight.
No, it's not.
It's not a big fight. So
not
who do you do?
Unless Aleem Kanali, as we say, fights Carlos Adames and looks insane.
Yes.
Or even if Adames wins and they kind of play back that Adames Crawford spar that's been doing the rounds, like, okay, let's make this real. But Adames is like...
Yeah, because you're in no man's land at 168 and 160. You are kind of in no man's land where you're at the 154 where you've got all those names. You're in no man's land. And then you've got 175, which is way, like, I can't see it. I can't see
the only thing that could help him, and bear in mind, he only fights once a year.
Yes.
So we've got 12 months to figure this out, really. We've got 12. Is if Errol Spence fights Jermell Charlo. Errol Spence and Jermell, if Jermell wins...
I did think that.
then because he's been going at Jamel for ages. Like you can you can Google this. He's literally been attacking Jamel for so long. Then there's some spice in it.
Yes, there's needle there.
There's needle there. There's real needle. And again, if Jamel looks spectacular, and Jamel kind of should beat Errol, even though both of them are all over the place,
I think he will.
then there may be that. That's why I think a Canelo rematch could happen because there aren't no options.
Yeah, it's a good point. And he will be the A side.
Yeah.
He'll be the firm A side. But that, I think, hinges on Canelo taking that rematch. Because I think it's Canelo saying as well.
Yeah.
And again, if a man is saying, I knew what I wanted to do, my body just couldn't do it, I think he knows it's not. You can improve, you can try next time, but I think he knows it's not going to be the same next time. It's still going to not be there.
Yeah, it's a shame it wasn't closer to the point where it's an easy sell. All right, one other name. If Canelo won, he was going to fight who?
Now, there's a question.
Hamza Shiraz.
I don't think
100% Canelo would have fought.
He would.
No.
I don't think he would have. I don't think he would have.
Even after what he did to Belanga.
Yep.
You don't think that was the perfect sell to the American audience? Like, look at this guy that just knocked out Belanga.
Perfect sell to the American audience, but I think Canelo would have looked at that and thought, I want no piece of this guy.
Okay. Okay, in that sense, okay. So do you think Crawford would fight Hamza then?
I think he would if the money was right, because Crawford is that type of guy. But my way of looking at it is, what's the benefit? You know, you beat Hamza Shiraz, okay, brilliant. But some would argue that Adamez already beat him. And some would argue that it's a flipping danger because he is a massive 168-pounder. Yeah. But saying that, he has come up through the weights. So maybe Crawford would look at that and think, well, you're not that much bigger than me.
Yeah.
You've come up from 154 to 168. He'll look at probably what Adamez did and thought, I'm better than Adamez.
Can I say something very quickly? As much as we say boxing's healthy, and it is healthy,
Yeah, it is.
I think boxing right now is an incredible space. Some superstar names coming through, although we have some superstar names leaving. The fact there isn't a viable opponent at 160 or 168, two of the marquee divisions for the last 20 years for Crawford to fight is alarming.
It's disgusting.
You think about it though. Like the fact that even Crawford's been able to jump from 154 to 168 and bash up the number one at 168, it's quite alarming here, dude.
That's a big worry.
It's kind of a big worry for me, yeah.
They've been the divisions where, if in doubt, middleweights, super middleweights, you know you're going to get something there. Dude. You've got a conveyor belt of people, and that conveyor belt's well and truly dried up now.
Yeah. It's actually incredible. Like, you go back to the Carl Froch days. I mean, you don't have to go that far. Just Carl Froch days, and just look at what Carl Froch, the murderer's row of fighters you had to get through. Do you know what I mean? Even the likes of James DeGale and George Groves, like fighters that you had to beat. Domestic level guys.
The world level, but they were still like, whoa, you don't want to fight them.
Hard fights. Now you're like, where are they?
No.
Honestly, I'm shocked by it. I'm shocked by it. Do you think Canelo continues?
No. No, I don't think he does. I think Canelo will sit down with his wife and his parents.
Even though he's got 2 more fights on the Ring Magazine deal?
I know, but I don't think he will. I think he'll look at that and say, body doesn't have it anymore. And maybe if he does take 2 fights, it will be like what he was doing before, kind of like a victory lap. Yeah. But I think he knows damn well that, look, it's done. You've been pro for 20 years, and probably for 15 of those years you've been at world level.
Crazy. It's
crazy. It's amazing that he was able to do that long, but enough is enough. The body is the body's not breaking down, but the body is just tired.
Yeah, it's because the Crawford isn't fast.
No.
Crawford at times made him look pretty slow and sluggish.
Yeah, he did.
Like, he was swinging for the fences a few times, and he missed by a mile.
Oh yeah, he was.
And
way
it became
out.
quite predictable, that kind of miss. So in my head, I would love him to say enough's enough, but he ain't gonna do it.
You don't think so?
No, man, he ain't going out on a defeat like that.
Okay, yeah.
He's too prideful to go out on a defeat like that.
He's not going to want to go out like that on a defeat.
No.
But then again, who do you fight? Who do you sell? Who you sell him to? Eubank, if he beats Ben?
Potentially. I mean, I'd love to see Canelo over here.
Oh, so would I.
Almost like a farewell tour type thing. And a Eubank fight would sell out the stadium here
I was going
convincingly.
Easy.
Like, quite comfortably.
Oh, yeah.
And does Eubank deserve it? Absolutely not. But I don't think Edgar Berlanga deserved the Canelo shot. Do you know what I mean?
No, exactly.
So you can just jump the queue, and I think Eubank would jump the queue. I think it's a fight that would... Perfect fight for him to kind of say
Turkey would love it. Turkey would love that. The UK stadium, Canelo Alvarez over here, and, you know, they do the whole media tour. They'd have them on Piers Morgan. They'd have them on everything. They would go the full 9 yards with it. And I'm sure for Alvarez, he would love that because you're in the UK. You're not in Saudi. You're in the UK. It's different. If you want to see passionate fans, come to the UK. Stadium fight, there you go.
You know who I was disappointed with on the night?
Who?
Max Kellerman.
Yeah, it wasn't quite what I was expecting.
No.
And do you know the weirdest part is Jim Lampley is like he's never left. And Jim Lampley's in his, 70s?
Yeah.
But Max, it was kind of like, oh.
You know why?
Why?
I don't think Max has been a boxing fan for the last 7 or 8 years.
No.
If I'm honest with you, I don't think, because I used to watch him religiously on ESPN First Take.
I remember that, yeah.
And he barely talks boxing. I mean, it's NBA, it's NFL, it's baseball. Sometimes, dude, it's even ice hockey. And then a little bit of boxing in there. Because it's just not a big enough sport in America. It wasn't a bigger sport. It isn't. And I almost feel like he's come back and we've all been excited about him coming back. I'm one of Max's biggest fans. The reason I try and do the face-offs is because watching Max do the face-offs, right? Yeah. But I just felt like he was just maybe just a bit sloppy.
Yeah, he hasn't done a proper boxing event in that capacity probably since 2018.
It's a long time.
Same with Jim Lampley.
Yeah, you're going to be rusty.
But I think with Jim Lampley, boxing is his sport.
That's the thing.
So when he went at that, was it the Times Square show was the first one he's back? It was like, oh my God.
It's like he never left. Him and Tavo, it's just like, it's seamless.
Just clicked.
Yeah. Don't remember, Andre Ward was fantastic. John Anik was fantastic. And maybe Max was good, but because I had Max like here.
Oh yeah, he was up
Max
there.
Is the guy.
Up there.
Yeah, so when I found some of the things he was saying, I was like, Max.
I mean, you think of it like this, you don't replace Larry Merchant as the man on HBO if you are not good.
Yeah. And that's
that says it all.
That's how good Max is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if he will be here. I do wonder if he will be here for the Eubank Ben, because that's a ring card. I do wonder if all the Americans come over. No, Max.
If it's a ring card, could Jim maybe do it, do you think?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. You're right. Of course, it won't be John Anik, will it? Because that was obviously for Netflix.
Yeah. Could you imagine Jim Lampley on commentary for Ben Eubank? Him and Adam Smith?
Yeah, fantastic. Because Adam Smith needs to keep it. It did 41 million viewers on Netflix. Now, I have no idea if that's good or bad. I don't know what that means. Sounds like a huge number.
To put in context, Paul Tyson did 108 million. So we're talking significantly less. 41 million people is still pretty much...
Dude, that's a country.
Yeah, I was going to say...
That's a country.
If you take England out, you're probably... if you keep England just as a whole, not the whole UK, you're probably talking the whole of England watch that fight.
Yeah,
but you're probably talking...
and you know how many people that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? That is enormous when you think about it. It may be just because... You're right, like, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson's an outlier. Oh, yeah. That doesn't make any sense, because it's Mike Tyson and it's Jake Paul, do you know what I mean? This didn't have the aggro that those two created.
No.
Like, even when Mike slapped Jake, that kind of reverberated around sort of social media. But 41, I guess, is good.
It's very good.
Yeah.
41 million people tuning in at that moment in time to see that. That's incredible. So I'm sure Netflix were delighted with all that.
If I'm DAZN, I don't panic, but I do think, we get the big ones, which they have had, but do we get the Goliaths? Or do Netflix and Turkey just say, we'll take that? Do you know what I mean? Like, you see like AJ Fury.
Yes.
Like, that's a DAZN fight. It should be a DAZN fight, right? 100%. I mean, one is Queensbury, one's Matchroom, DAZN. But I just wonder if Turkey's like, well, 1 second, I'll pay for it. You guys want your 100 million each? Fine. Netflix.
Yeah, it has to go to there.
Do you know what I mean? I just wonder.
I hope it doesn't. That's a DAZN fight if I ever saw it. Fury versus Joshua?
It should be. I'm with you. I'm so with you. But Canelo's had a few DAZN fights of recent.
Yeah, many.
Crawford's last fight was DAZN before.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, they're both fighting on Netflix.
I know.
Jake Paul has fights on DAZN. His old MVP promotions on DAZN. Where does Jake Paul fight his big fights?
Netflix. He wanted to fight Joshua on Netflix. So if the Joshua Paul fight did happen, it would have been probably on Netflix, wouldn't it? So AJ was like, nope, be on DAZN.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Yeah.
It is actually crazy. It does make you kind of feel almost like, the A-star S tier. That's Netflix.
Yeah.
Which DAZN should be like, no, we want to be all those tiers. We want to be S tier as well.
Yeah. And the only thing that would help DAZN to combat this Netflix threat is if what Turkey said comes true. No more pay-per-view.
No more pay-per-views, exactly.
Because then fans are like, okay, fans would cheer, wouldn't mind. But everyone's got Netflix. So the majority of fans right now watching this right now be like, we want it on Netflix. Yeah. Because we've got Netflix. Do you know what I mean? We don't want to pay 30 quid. Do you know?
Yeah, every household, literally every household has Netflix.
Yeah.
And means to get Netflix. Easy. Easy like that. So that is something. Now, Turkey did say from the Ring 4 or Ring 5, which is in November. Obviously, Devin Haney is on that card. That's when, for ring shows, it ends. It needs to stick true to that.
Yeah, for ring shows, it ends. I think there is a massive grey area here. I don't think, and I'm not saying this as an insider, but there's definitely an asterisk grey area. I don't think that it ends for DAZN shows.
No.
I think it ends for ring shows.
So do I.
And that's where people are getting confused because remember, I was on the stage when I interviewed him and he said this. But then when I think there was someone from DAZN there. Yeah, it was me, Turkey, Shy, Frank Warren. So when Turkey said this, I kind of went to Shy and he didn't really follow up. And I was like, what does this actually really mean?
Yeah, you
like, do you know what I mean? It's so
"Ugh."
confusing for fans. And I don't think fans understood it because obviously Wardley Parker's pay-per-view. So people didn't quite get what all of it meant.
I think if you confuse the fans, you've lost the fans. Personally, for me, and I think that if there is that grey area, that could open up a can of worms. You might think you're fixing one problem by saying no pay-per-view for this, but then you're causing an absolute hailstorm if it's only for ring shows and other fights can be still that.
Yeah.
You know?
The undercard, I didn't watch much of it because I was doing the show in Belfast.
Show in Belfast.
So I tried to stay up and then I was like that and just all over the place.
It went long, didn't it?
There was a
went
few,
long.
yeah. But I will say this, that Christian and Bealey, Lester Martinez fight.
They
Jesus Christ, man.
Yikes. I had a look at it
That
again.
might be fight of the year, you know.
I had
They
a
were
look
kicking
at
this,
it
you know what,
again, and for me, at the time I thought draw was fair. Lester Martinez won that fight.
He won that fight.
He won the fight. Let's be real. He won the fight.
Yeah, he won that fight. Yeah.
Because I was tired watching it because I was awake and I was like, right, I enjoyed it, but then I was like, right, let's watch it again a couple of days later, and I was like, yeah, Martinez won that fight.
You know what the 168 division needs? It almost needs a Super Six. It almost needs, because there are no, like, it needs Caleb Plant, it needs Hamza Shiraz, it needs Edgar Berlanga, it needs Lester Martinez, it needs Christian Mbili, it needs Diego Pacheco. Someone to establish themselves as the next guy. Because there's about 5 or 6 of them that I think could all beat each other.
Yeah, and there's no, and they're not fighting.
Like how many people knew Lester Martinez was?
No, I barely knew who he was. I knew who Christian Bealey was, but I was like, who's this guy? And I was like, wow, damn, I've been missing out here.
Yeah, this was supposed to be the coming out party for Christian Mbili.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, Lester Martinez was like, no, it ain't.
It was like, here's an uppercut every 2 seconds.
Yeah. So
That's
it does
literally what it
need
was
that.
like.
You know, Jermaine Franklin got a gift of a decision. I don't know if you saw it. He fought some big Eastern
Ivan
European
Shevchenko.
Dude. I wanted to throw my laptop on the floor because I hate dodgy decisions. Even Jermaine Franklin's corner were like, you have to knock him out in this last round or you're like, it's over. And when they gave the scorecards out, Jermaine Franklin didn't even celebrate. It was like, oh.
Do you want to hear? I know I'm going to upset you with this.
Don't say you had Franklin winning that fight.
I didn't have Franklin winning the fight, but what I'm going to say is going to upset you. Ivan Dishko did a better job on Franklin than AJ did. And he didn't get the flipping decision.
Yeah, that's a good shot, you know.
He didn't get the
Didn't
decision.
get the decision.
It was madness.
Dude.
Madness.
So embarrassing to boxing.
On a
that.
flipping show like that.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't even know who that guy is really.
I've seen a few of his fights. He's all right.
But I'm like, what are you doing here? Like when Jermaine Franklin doesn't celebrate and just, I'm not joking, he didn't even put his hand up. Like, yes, he literally just walked out the ring. And I was like,
It's almost like
just
you
known.
know
You've
I
known.
did not
You've
win
got,
this fight.
Yeah, you've been gifted a decision. And that was that guy's opportunity. And that's happened on a card.
I hate it. And Teddy Atlas is very passionate about dodgy decisions and when it happens. What you've done there, not you, but what they've done there by not giving Ivan Dishko the decision is you've taken big paydays away from him now.
Yeah.
And you've given fighters reason. Oh, well, he lost to Jermaine. We couldn't beat Jermaine Franklin.
Yeah.
The average casual won't know that it was a horrible robbery. You've ruined him for the next couple of fights.
Yeah. Whereas Jermaine Franklin now stays in the game.
Stays in the game.
Stays in the game.
Probably get a fight with a Tauma.
Yeah.
Because they're talking about a Tauma December 13th. He might get that fight. And it's a fight he doesn't deserve.
This is when I always scream corruption, and I've got to be careful because I work in boxing, but I always say, fuck it. You know, ultimately, I've got to say what's in my mind. There's so much corruption in boxing.
Oh, God. It's
Because
crazy.
you're right. I mean, there could be a fight lined up for Jermaine Franklin. He just has to get that decision. Mm-hmm. And people, they don't, you know what they do? I don't think judges are paid off like we think, money under the table. It's little things like, okay, you can stay in that hotel. Or, we'll promoters look after certain judges. Mm-hmm. Nice. A car can pick you up here. You can do this, you can do that. And by default, you almost favor that promoter's fighter.
Yeah, you would. You'd be kind of like, close round. Who do I give that to? That was a nice steak I had last night.
I'm telling you now, it happens like that. It must do.
It has to.
It has to. So it is a shame. But look, Jermaine Franklin, I think, has got away with one. Maybe he deserved one. In a weird way because he's been on
This is the one thing I will say is that I don't agree with the decision. It was awful. But Jermaine Franklin, he's a guy, give me gloves, we'll fight.
Yeah.
So at least it's not someone who just, you know, is a bit of a, you know, a scammer who is just like, you know, I got a die decision. You'll never see me again. I'll take that win to the bank.
Yeah, and he announced the day after he's no longer with Dimitri Salita. Just all convenient, isn't it? Like, oh, no longer with Dimitri Salita, yeah.
We get an announcement of Tim against Telma now. Oh, that wasn't.
Good fight, by the way.
It's a great fight, by the way.
I'm telling you now, that's not, as much as I've just dissed Jermaine Franklin is not easy work for, Moses will probably make it easy after I've said this, but that's a very good matchup, a very, very good matchup.
I wouldn't give Franklin a sniff of prayer beating Telma.
No.
But
he's not getting iced, but he's not getting iced like everyone else is getting iced.
It's not going to be Dylan White or Mike Belogan.
He's slicker than that. He's smarter than that. He's slicker than that. He's just better. He's just better.
Decent chin too.
Decent chin. All right, before we wrap this up, okay, quick fire questions. Will Terence Crawford fight again?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Will Canelo fight again?
I'm going to say no.
Okay. Will Terence Crawford fight at 168 again?
Yes.
So you think he stays at 168? You think that's it? It doesn't go down to 160, 154?
I think he'll bring them up or bring them down, one or the other.
Okay. Dream matchup for you for Crawford next?
Bivol. I didn't even need to think. You know what? It's one of those.
Bivol's out for 7-8 months as well. So perfect timing. Perfect timing.
6 months, 7-8 months, right?
Okay, does that happen at 175 or 168?
168.
Yeah. So you don't think Crawford's going to try and become a unified champ at 175 by taking on Bivol?
No.
One last challenge.
I don't think he will.
Okay.
I think he
look very strong at 168.
Hang on a sec. He what would he rather? Would he rather or he can defend his undisputed titles, which he's never done.
Never defended an undisputed. That goes against him. All right, guys, there you go. Kind of went all over the place as that video, but hopefully you enjoyed it. We spoke about a few different things. And I guess rounding up, it's that Terence Crawford is that good. Yes. That's kind of what it is, really. Terence Crawford is frightening, and we are lucky to be in a time when we have Usyk, Inoue, Crawford, Bivol, Beterbiev, Bam Rodriguez, Nakatani. You can go on and on and on.
Those names, man.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Did Crawford jump Usyk to be pound for pound king?
Oh, you really put me on the spot with that one. No.
Good. I'm saying no as well. Everyone's saying yes.
No.
I'm like, calm down.
Usyk is the man.
Usyk's the man. I'm sorry. Usyk's the man. It's close. 1A, 1B. All right, guys. We'll see you in another one. Peace.
Champions are not born. They're forged. This is about turning the ordinary into undisputed. Available now. Ade Oladipo, brought to you by Undisputed.